Good morning, everyone. This is Melanie from Leaping Treasures and Curiosities. Now, this episode, I want to do a continuation on the subject of shipping. The reason I want to do that is because two major happenings went on in the world of eBay, and I'm going to go into both of them. The first happens to be that eBay released a new statement which protects sellers against missing mail pieces. The second issue is the fact that with the extreme delays that the U.S. postal system is having right now. So I want to go into those two topics, and this will help you on what to do in the case that your mail that you send out, your packages, all of a sudden disappear or are not moving. So let's talk a little bit about that. Now, before the announcement that eBay made, this was the policy. The policy was that you mail out a package. You do it within the correct time frame, and then all of a sudden, let's say 10 days, nowhere to be found. Customer doesn't get it. The customer will then open up a item not received case against you. eBay is going to research it. They're going to see that there's been no movement in 10 days. Guess what? They are going to credit the customer. You lose, and then all of a sudden, guess what? All of a sudden, the package shows up a couple of days later, but it's too late. They've already refunded the customer, and you are out that money. And of course, now that the customer has the package, why should he be honest and pay an invoice that you send for the items? That is what was happening originally. Now, there were ways around it, and I'm going to talk about the ways around it, but I'm going to give you that information to help you because now with the new eBay system that's in place and what's going on with the postal, this will help your business drastically. This has been my saving grace, and I will tell you why. I've already had 15 missing mail item cases opened up against me, and not one single one did I lose. I did not have to refund any of them. And it didn't matter. Some of those cases, it took over a month for the package to arrive. It was because of specific steps that I followed that protected me from having eBay automatically debit. And I'm going to share these steps with you because as I'm reading lots of the boards, message boards, people are complaining like anything how eBay debited my account, they refunded the customer, blah, blah, blah. And what ends up happening is they never followed any of these steps. So let's go through it one by one. The first step is stay diligent on top of your orders. Don't necessarily wait for a customer to contact you. What you should be doing is, and eBay is really simple, you could go to all orders, and if you scroll down all your orders, it actually will show either shipped or delivered. So if you see something that's shipped going back more than 2 weeks, that means that person has not received it. If you go to that particular order, see what the tracking says. It'll give you an example. Is it late? Is it still going from distribution to distribution center? In many cases, the ones that were late only went to the very first distribution and got stuck there. So one of the things that I would do is I would do a search through the USPS Postal Service site and submit a missing mail search. Now, there are two ways you could do it. You go to the site, go to the help section, hit missing packages. They're going to give you two forms. They're going to give you a help request form, and then they're going to give you a missing mail search form. And they recommend that you do the help request form first. Now, I will tell you, I've done the help request form many times. This is my personal experience. This isn't what's supposed to happen, but my personal experience is I submit the help request form. In 2 days, I get either a phone call or an email from the postmaster of the receiving town's post office, and they simply tell me, I don't have the package. Okay, so if you don't have the package, where is the package? That has been consistent each and every time. There was not one time when I put in a help request form that they actually found my package. I still, even after doing the help request form, I still had to submit a missing mail search. And it's nice that I got a direct message from the postmaster of that town, but what's the use of getting a message if they still can't find my mail? Where's the mail then? So what I would do, and this is up to you, and like I said, this is not advisable on the post office website. However, this is my personal experience. If your mail has not moved, you look at the tracking and it's still pending in that one area, that one distribution center, and it's been more than 10 days since any movement whatsoever, then what you need to do is the second step, which is submit a missing mail search. What happens with me is like all of a sudden, within 2 days, if I submit a missing mail search, boom, in 2 days, all of a sudden, it's on its way. I have never had a lost package. Every time I do it, it starts moving and it's on its way again. I'm curious if anybody else has that experience, but that is my personal experience. So the step one is look through your orders, see what is delayed. Step two is if you see something is still in delivery mode, still in shipped mode and not delivered, do some research. Now, let's get on top of this. Now, a customer is the one that contacts you, and you go into the order and you see, oh no, it's still pending, it hasn't moved. Still follow these steps, but this is where you get diligent on the eBay case. So the customer opens up a case, my package is lost, I want a refund. Say to them, I'm sorry, there are postal delays, I'm putting a trace on your package, let's wait a few days, see what happens. I mean, something along those lines. Be nice, be professional, don't be like, this isn't my fault, just be very professional, that there are delays, we want to find this package, whatever you want to do in your own words. What you need to do, though, is when you open up the case, the submit the mail search with USPS, make sure you take that case number ID. Take that case number ID, go into eBay and said, I have opened up the case with USPS, here's the case number ID, put it in the message center with the case, okay? When it starts moving, because like I said, within 2 days, you're going to see movement of the package. When it starts moving, go back into the case and then respond. Package is starting to move. It's heading towards blah, blah, blah. And keep updating that case, because what ends up happening is if you don't put any messages in the case and you're leaving it hanging, that's going to jolt eBay to say, oh, nothing's being done, the seller is not doing anything. So they are going to side with the buyer's favor, debit the seller's account, credit the customer, you are out that money. But if you keep responding to that case, it almost restarts the time, so there's no delay in response to that customer. That's how you protect yourself. So now, also, stay in touch with the customer. I mean, you want to try to avoid as much back and forth with the customer, but if you make it professional, you make it nice, and not push the blame off. I mean, not like, what's the term I want to use? Just be professional and be informative. That's the word we need. Be informative with the customer. Say, you opened up the case, here's the case number. There's movement on the package, it's heading your way. Expected time delivery, and just leave it like that. That seems to go a long way. And remember, in my case, 15 lost cases were opened up against me in eBay. Not one of them were dinged. Not one of them was held against me. None of them I had to return back the money because I followed these steps, and I'm sharing those steps with you. Okay? Eventually, the item is going to show up. The way the mail has been going, the item is going to show up. If you find it's more than a month, then I would start worrying. But generally speaking, 4 to 6 weeks, the item does show up. Okay, that's my experience. I would recommend if your item happened to be lost in a section, for example, where they had the the flooding, where they had the hurricane, then I would probably do more diligence with it. Maybe file a claim, see if you can get your money back in that respect. But most of the time, they're going to find the package and it's going to go back. So now let's talk about the new announcement that eBay made. And I'm going to read this directly from the site because it is amazing. And this actually helps out what's happening in the world of eBay. So I'm going to read this. This is directly from eBay Seller News Team. They not only put it in their blog, they put it in a mass email to everyone. And this was dated on August 11, 2020 at 11:49 a.m. in the morning. So this is just relatively brand new. And guess what? It is amazing. So here we go. The United States Postal Service continues to be strained, and we realize the burden this puts on our sellers. Delivery and scan delays persist, and we are monitoring not only the delays, but the ongoing negotiations in Washington. As your partner, we will continue to protect you and ensure you are covered for any shipping defects and delays beyond your control. Here's what we're doing now, and we're looking to in the future. Handling time. We are automatically extending estimated delivery dates as necessary to give buyers a more reasonable expectation of when their items will arrive. We recommend that you don't extend your handling time. Our extended estimates should give you enough buffer, and additional handling days could lead to the appearance of your items shipping slower than they actually are. Seller protections. Last month, we announced that seller protections against shipping defects through August 31st. We will continue to extend these protections as long as the strains on carriers affect delivery dates. Item not received cases. If a buyer opens up an item not received case and you are provided valid tracking and ship the item within your promised handling time, we will wait to evaluate the case until after the extended estimated delivery date. We recognize that you uploaded valid tracking and met your handling time commitment, and you can still qualify as a top-rated seller. If the item shows up late because of a carrier delay, we will remove the shipping defect for a late shipment. If the item is delivered after the extended estimated delivery date, we will remove shipping-related negative or neutral feedback on your behalf. We are continually monitoring shipping developments and USPS delays. We are working on other affordable, more reliable delivery options for sellers. Stay tuned for important developments in this area in the coming weeks. As always, thank you for selling on eBay. Marnie Levine, Vice President of Selling Operations and Engagement. Everyone, that is fantastic news. I mean, think about it. If a customer gives you negative feedback because it took so long to be delivered, you're covered. They're going to remove that off. If they're extending the time. Now, remember, the time used to be 10 days. So it's going to be now longer than 10 days. However, follow the steps that I said. Do your diligence. If not, it is going to be locked in the distribution center for however long. If you find after a couple of weeks your mail has not moved, start that missing mail search. Get on top of USPS. If you feel comfortable, use the help request form. Me personally, the help request form has not worked for me. However, the missing mail search, boom. After 2 days, it starts moving that mail. And it's really a great program. So I'm extending this information to you. As always, every circumstance is different. My circumstances may be different than yours. But take some of the tips and tricks of the trade. See if this has worked for you. And as you know, I love doing videos like this. I love doing informative videos, and I wish to continue to do informative videos. So definitely, if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts or comments, leave it in the comment section below. I would love to do videos based on questions that you, as a seller, as a new seller, as a veteran seller, I mean, somebody who's just doing this, either on a part-time basis, full-time basis, or as a hobby. We all have questions. There are times that I'm looking to other veteran sellers as well where I need information. So I think YouTube is a great opportunity to be able to learn how to expand your business and how to perfect your business to your own capabilities or your own preferences. Because, like I said, what works for me may not work for you. But maybe a little trial and error, maybe it will work. But with that, I want to thank everybody for listening to me today. This topic is all about your missing mail, and hopefully you'll never have to actually file a case for missing mail. But as long as you have insurance on it, generally speaking, they will cover it. But until next time, everyone, this is Melanie with Lightbeam's Treasures and Curiosities. Take care.